National Guacamole Day, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by the Pasquals Cantina how-to video channel. Today I will be teaching you all how to make Pasquals Cantina fresh guacamole. To celebrate Guacamole Day, I will be making chicken tingas tostadas, and nothing goes better with that than fresh guacamole. With just a few fresh ingredients and a couple of quick steps, we'll be on our way to an awesome fiesta. Avocados, make sure that you remove the stem, and then starting at the top with a nice big knife, just slice right through in half, holding the knife against the pit on the inside, which you'll be able to feel, and try to connect the dots there. Chop it down, give it a little twist, you got yourself a beautiful, perfect avocado. What are you going to do with the pit? Easy. Take your knife, firmly hold this piece in your hand, and just give a little tap with your knife on the pit, like that, a little twist, and there you have it. Now, don't ever grab that off. You can slip and cut your hand. What I do is I either tap on the side of the sink, tap it on my garbage can, whatever you want to do, and then you're not with it anymore. Okay, so when you're using fresh cilantro, always make sure you use just the leaves of the plant. If you use the stems, there's nothing wrong with it other than you're going to get more of a bitter flavor. So please make sure you use the cilantro leaves only. And then I take them, bunch them together into a little tiny package, as much as you can. Take a larger knife and just start mincing them like that. Let go, move your hands. Turn it around. More chopping, bring them together. Just make sure you don't have any huge chunks in there. Bring it together, check it out one more time, and cilantro. The reason I choose to use shallots when I'm making guacamole is it's an excellent combination of a red onion and garlic. You get your earth tones and a little bit of that bright acidity. A good combination. You can use red onions, you can use garlic, whatever you like, but I use shallots. When you're cutting the shallots to put them in, you want to use a smaller knife and just make a couple of cuts crosswise into the shallot. And then come across, and you're just making a little bit of a checkerboard stack, and then just slowly cut them. You get really little pieces so that A, you don't offend somebody with the huge chunk, and it can spread out through your guacamole mixture beautifully. Just do that with one larger piece, and that should get you your 2 to 3 tablespoons that it calls for in the recipe. So before the game, when you're getting ready for your party, best time to make the guacamole is right before your guests arrive. You don't want to make it too far in advance. It's going to turn brown. It'll start to taste a little bit off. So just make it, as close as you can to the start of your party, and you'll have the best tasting guacamole. We make guacamole several times a day in the restaurant just to keep it as fresh as possible. It changes in the season because avocados sometimes last longer, sometimes they spoil a lot quicker. Take a soup spoon, larger spoon than a teaspoon, or that's something you'd use for cereal, or even a small sauce spoon works, and just carve right into the back of the avocado flesh there, and scoop it around, and remove, and drop in. What you want to do is you want to get your avocados into the bowl and mashed up before you add any of the other ingredients, especially any of the fresh ingredients like the shallots, because mashing the shallots will bruise them and they won't look very good, and they also won't taste as good. It'll mash the juice out of them in a way that they don't like. Make sure you get all your meat out of there. And I use what is called a bean masher. You can buy one for $5 or $6 at your local Mexican market. It's perfect because if you have an avocado that's a little bit too hard, you it's got these nice edges, you can kind of chop them up. And then for the mashing, this is perfect because it squeezes through the larger holes. So you just want to mash them up. These are really perfect avocados. Mash it beautifully. I'm going to mix up from the bottom, make sure you didn't get a piece in there that's hiding. It doesn't want to be mashed up. And your beautiful yellow and light green avocados become a beautiful green guacamole color. So the next thing I add is the 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of, I like to use toasted cumin. I buy whole cumin seeds, toast them in a saucepan, grind them up in a spice grinder, but you can use regular ground cumin from the grocery store. Works perfectly. And you want to mix those in carefully. Do it too quickly, they'll pop up in your face and make you sneeze, cry, or something else. So mix those in there nicely. Mash it around. Get everything in there. And then next I take my half of a fresh lime, slice in half. Squeeze it right into there. Now, depending on how much you like lime flavor in your guacamole, you can do a little bit more, you can do a little bit less. You've got control because you don't have to squeeze the whole lime. And then mix that into there. I know you can't see this perfectly, but this tool is awesome because it just rolls around the edges of the bowl. And it's giving you a nice whipped, smooth guacamole. Next, we are going to add our shallots. And we are going to add our cilantro. Put it in there. This is where we are going to be very careful to not mush up any of the shallots. So I'm going to get rid of this. I use a spoon, same one that I used to get all of the avocado out of the shell. Mix that around really, really well. And for a bonus, if you want, I like to add a little bit of New Mexico mild chili powder. It just gives a little bit of a kick. You don't have to add it. Your guacamole is going to taste awesome. Mix that in. It gives a little bit of a bright chili flavor without making it too spicy, and gives it a little beautiful red color. Now you can do anything you want with this base guacamole. You can add diced tomatoes, you could dice up some tomatillos, throw those in there. Something you can do, you've probably heard of smoked guacamole. That is truly a little bit of chipotle pepper, and it's adobo sauce mixed up and put into the guacamole. So we're all ready. Plate it up. Ready for your party. Put a little bit of a cilantro garnish on it. And for good measure, a beautiful piece of lime. There you have it, Pasquals Cantina guacamole.